Dealing with today's hookup culture can be frustrating for those of us seeking a real connection. When you find someone that piques your interest, you might not want to let them go, no matter how strange your love looks to outsiders. We'll show you 10 tales of true love between some couples that seem unlikely, to say the least. One couple that makes perfect sense is you and the richest. Don't be afraid of commitments. Subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications. Amy Wolf and 1001 Knocks. Here at The Richest, we absolutely love amusement park rides and think the more thrilling the better. However, we definitely can't claim to love them anywhere near as much as Amy Wolf does. Amy is planning to make an honest carnival ride out of 1001 Knocks, which is an 80-foot gondola ride. Long-distance relationships can be tough, and Amy has to travel 160 miles to see her fiancé, which she does 10 times a year. The pair first met when Amy was only 13 years old, and she claimed the two shared an instant sexual and mental connection. Distance was a challenge, and they were often on again and off again. While Amy filled that time dating various banisters and the Empire State Building, no one could compete with 1001 Knocks. When they aren't together, Amy carries spare nuts and bolts around and sleeps with a picture of him over her bed in order to feel closer to her fiancé. She plans to change her last name to Weber after the manufacturer of 1001 Knocks. When asked about her relationship, she claims that it is fulfilling on both the physical and spiritual level. 1001 Knocks declined to comment on his feelings. Love at first bite. Although they're typically portrayed as being attractive and seductive, it must be pretty hard for vampires to find dates, since they can only go out at night and have very specific dietary needs. However, despite all the odds, these two vampiric lovebirds managed to find each other. Meet Countess Leah of House Van Doorn and Count Tim of House Van Doorn. The pair met at a vampire festival, which we just now learned is a thing that exists. During the festivities, Tim offered to read Leah's tarot cards, and apparently she drew a card representing love because the two quickly fell for one another. Leah claims that as a practitioner of vampirism, she and Tim are able to recognize their fellow vampires due to the dark and vampiric vibes they emit. We wonder if there are also any vampires who still have the fangs but have switched to V8 for the time being. Oh, and because we're sure you are wondering, yes, the two do drink each other's blood from time to time. They describe the act of drinking their partner's blood as ecstasy and claim that it's an important component of their relationship. Powerful love. While he may not be able to lift the most weight per pound, Anton Kraft is able to lift 4 times his own body weight. That is even more impressive when you consider that most Olympic athletes are only able to lift about 2 or 2.5 times what they weigh. Anton has a condition known as dwarfism, which means that he stands only 4 feet 4 inches tall. This doesn't stop him from being able to bench an astonishing 504 pounds, however. Some women are just attracted to that kind of brute strength, including his girlfriend, 6'3" China Bell. China is a trans woman, and Anton claims that she works harder to maintain her femininity than many women. Putting effort into their appearances has helped the two bond, and Anton has talked about getting down on one knee to propose. Though it might work a bit better logistically if he remains standing due to the height difference, China admits that after an initial reluctance, she quickly became smitten with Anton. While their relationship is healthy, doctors worry about the stress that weightlifting is putting on Anton's heart. Despite what doctors recommend, Anton says that lifting is a way of life for him, and he has no intentions of stopping anytime soon. Winning at love. Being the world's best-looking couple comes at a price, at least for Buck and Michelle Miller. These two have declared themselves the best-looking couple in the world and spend about $65,000 per year to make sure that they stay that way. To keep them on track, they've covered their homes in mirrors and portraits of themselves just in case they forget what they look like. They spend over $5,000 a month just on manicures, pedicures, haircuts, and gym memberships. That seems like a lot, especially considering the fact that Buck shaves his head. The two met at a bodybuilding competition where they were just there to cheer on the contestants. However, they soon realized that their favorite specimen was in the audience and not on the stage. Some men are beguiled by a woman's eyes or her smile, but Buck claims that the first thing he noticed about Michelle were her quads. After dating long distance for a year, they finally tied the knot and started a life together consisting of beauty treatments, proper nutrition, and exercise. They have a son together and encourage each other to constantly be the best that they can be emotionally and physically. Highs and lows. While many people might wish they were a bit taller, Jolison Fernandez da Silva was so embarrassed by his height that he became a bit of a recluse. As a child, he developed gigantism, and his height rapidly rose until he stood at an incredible 7 feet 8 inches tall. Instead of signing up for the basketball team, he was bullied and ended up dropping out of school entirely. Although he underwent surgery to remove the benign tumor pressing against his pituitary gland, he was already about a foot taller than the average man. Jolison had accepted that he was meant to live a hermit-like existence when he met the love of his life, Eva Medeiros, who is only 5 feet tall. With a nearly 3-foot height difference between them, Eva claims that they are often asked about the details of their intimate life by curious people. The pair hope to have children someday, but worry about complications due to the fact that Eva has polycystic ovarian syndrome, which can make conceiving difficult. Jolison also struggles with his health as he gets tired easily when standing and moving for long periods of time. He also needs to get monthly injections in order to keep his condition in check. Trivia time! Sure, finding true love is great, but maintaining it is an even bigger challenge. Karam and Kartari Chand were thought to have the world's longest marriage before Karam passed away in 2016. How long were the happy couple together? Keep watching for the answer. Small couple, big love. Many short men feel self-conscious about dating a woman taller than them, and for Paulo Gabriel da Silva Barros, that seemed like a sizable concern. Paulo has diastrophic dysplasia dwarfism and is only 34.8 inches tall. While he did end up falling in love with a taller woman, she is only 6 inches taller than he is. Katiusia Hoshino is 35.2 inches tall and has achondroplasia dwarfism. The pair met online, but Paulo failed to impress at first and ended up being blocked by Katiusia, who tired of his lame pickup lines. Thankfully, Katiusia gave him another chance over a year later, and the pair dated for a happy 8 years before finally becoming engaged. When speaking about their first meeting, Paulo claims that he was instantly smitten by Katiusia's beauty and taken in with her sweet nature. Meanwhile, Katiusia claims that Paulo's fashion sense made her cringe, and she's glad that he has improved since then. Despite an inauspicious start, the two fell in love and claim that their relationship is the same as any other couple's, regardless of their small statures. Although she once thought little of him, Katiusia says she can't wait to get married, and the pair plan to pursue the Guinness Book of World Records title for smallest married couple. Till dreads do us part. It can be immensely frustrating to put a lot of time and effort into getting your hair to look just right, only to have your partner not even notice. Well, this Rasta Rapunzel definitely doesn't have that problem. Asha Mandela has hair that measures 55 feet in length, making it longer than a bus. Of course, it makes complete sense that the man she found to love both her and her locks is a professional hairstylist. Emmanuel Chege contacted Asha online after being awestruck by photos of her famous dreadlocks. It was love at first sight for the pair, who were married 8 months after they first met. Not only does Emmanuel support his wife, but he takes care of her 42 pounds of hair as well. Each day, he carefully grooms his wife's dreadlocks, and Asha trusts him to make sure they look just right. Washing and drying them takes 2 full days, but that hasn't deterred Emmanuel, who hopes to grow out his own dreadlocks to a comparable length. When out and about, Asha keeps her dreads tucked into a handbag to prevent it from dragging on the ground, but the unusual-looking pair still receive a lot of attention from onlookers. Sisterly love. If you thought finding love as a vampire was a challenge, imagine having your sibling literally stuck to your hip. That was the reality for conjoined twins Ganga and Jamuna Mondal, who became known as the Spider Sisters because of their unique bodily configuration. For decades, the sisters struggled to find love before finally meeting schoolteacher Jazimuddin Ahmad. The sisters claimed that it was love at first sight, and Jazimuddin felt the same way. They met when Jazimuddin was doing some part-time work for the circus where the sisters worked as performers. Because they grew up poor and didn't have access to education, Ganga and Jamuna turned to a traveling circus to earn a living. The circus brought them to many different places before finally bringing their true love to them. While their love has brought the three of them great joy, it isn't without its challenges. Because they live in a conservative culture, they believe cementing their union in marriage would not be accepted by their community. Although the sisters have contemplated a surgical separation, they worry about the risk of both their lives and livelihood. Timeless love. Women who date younger men are typically known as cougars, but that doesn't seem to accurately encapsulate the age difference between 91-year-old Marjorie McCool and her 31-year-old boyfriend. Kyle Jones would describe their relationship as casual, as he has many other pensioner-age partners as well. He claims that his relationship with Marjorie is special, and he has even taken her home to meet his 50-year-old mother. Despite what others may say about their relationship, Kyle claims that his preference for older women is no more strange than those that prefer blondes over brunettes. His first May to December relationship began when he was 18 and started dating a 50-year-old woman. Since then, he's met many of his partners online and chats them up whenever he can in real life. When Marjorie met Kyle, she had been single for 37 years, longer than Kyle had been alive. She had long since split from the father of her 6 children, who now range in age from 50 to 70. At first, she was skeptical that Kyle actually found her attractive, but now she claims that the two have an incredible love life. Tall order. Although they might look like an odd couple at first glance, Elisani da Cruz Silva and her boyfriend Francinaldo da Silva Carvalho seem to be a perfect match. Elisani is 6 feet 8 inches tall, while Francinaldo is a mere 5 feet 4 inches by comparison. While most people think of fashion models as being quite tall, Elisani's height has been a hindrance rather than an asset in that regard. Although she still dreams about strutting the catwalk, she's had many agencies turn her down due to her size. A tumor on her pituitary gland was to blame for her above-average height, and since it has been removed, she has stopped growing and even shrank about an inch. That's a good thing when it comes to her love life, considering that she already has to stoop down to kiss her partner. Despite being rather short, Francinaldo claims that he has always been attracted to tall women, and getting to date the tallest woman around has been a dream come true. Holding hands is a bit awkward since Elisani has to slouch, but they haven't let that get in the way of their romantic relationship. How long did Karam and Kartari last before Karam passed away at the age of 110? The two were married for 90 years and 291 days. That's longer than most people have been alive. Sometimes it seems that nothing can stop true love. Did the couples in this video inspire you to ask out someone a bit different than your usual type, or would you be guilty of giving these couples a second look? Don't worry, if you want to remain platonic with your amusement park attractions, we understand. If you'd like to take your relationship with the richest to the next level, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.